Hey guys, welcome in Gorilla Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Volpin, and it's Monday, December 16th. That's how we do it, guys. We had a ton of plays going this week. There was no buys, so there's a lot of football, and we had 10 plays. We went 7-3. That is a monster day. Not only did we go 7-3, we also had a couple of ladder plays in there as well, which also boosts up our profit margin. So that was sick. Let's quickly recap what we had. We had Jaden Daniels over his passing yards. That was a winner. We took Jameis Winston over his passing attempts. This couldn't have gone any worse. He threw 3 picks. They kept fumbling the ball and turning it over. So, he never really had a chance. And then by the time the game got out of hand, they just yanked him. He was playing terrible, making bad decisions. So that was a bad call. We took David Montgomery over 16.5 receiving yards. What do you know? He went for 30 plus again for the 7th straight game. That number is only going to keep going up, but we'll keep looking at it. We took Detroit money line in the second quarter. Yet again, they're now 11-1 in the second quarter. Even though they lost to Buffalo, they still won in the second quarter. 14-7, so that was a nice money line winner. Then we had a sneaky one on Stone Smart. We were attacking the tight end of the LA Chargers. We needed him over 24.5 receiving yards. He went well over that. I said I also like the ladder play on him at 40 plus and at 50 plus, and boom, he landed right at 50 plus. So that was a nice plus 310 up there. Plus 195, I think, was the 40 plus yards as well. So that's smashed as well. That was a great call. Then we took Cortland Sutton over 70.5 receiving yards. He went 3 catches for 32 yards. So that was a loser. He had 9 targets. He had 3 pass interference calls on him. So, I mean, yeah, these were some bombs. I'll probably go back to him again next week, depending on the matchup and how the weather looks and stuff. But the targets were there. The air yards were there. He couldn't come up with these balls. They kept just tackling him before the ball would get to him. So that was a little unlucky. Then we had our sneaky kicker props, guys. Man, I can smash these kicker props. We took over 47.5 for the longest field goal, and then we took the combined field goal yards of Jason Sanders and Kaimi Fairbairn over 127.5. Both of these props hit in the first half. They kicked 4 field goals in the first half. One of them in the beginning of the second quarter was a 55-yarder. So this was an easy winner. Love that one. Then we took Adam Thielen over 50.5 receiving yards. He landed right at 51. So I won by the hook. I know that number went up to, I think, 52.5. So some of you guys may have booked that one a loser, but it was pretty close on either side. And then we took Chuba Hubbard over 18.5 attempts. This is kind of the opposite game script as I thought it was going to go, as Rico Dowdle ended up going 25 rushing attempts because they were the ones leading and running it out in the fourth quarter. So, guys, 7-3 with a couple of ladders in there as well. That is a sick week. We've done it again. Let's keep it going. I got 3 plays. There's 2 Monday Night Football games, so let's get into them. My first play is I'm taking DJ Moore over 56.5 receiving yards. Now, he's gone over this in 3 out of his last 4 games. He's averaging 79 yards a game over his last 4-game stretch. His best game of the year was versus this same Minnesota defense where he went 7 catches, 106 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota gives up the most catches and the most receiving yards to the wide receiver position. They are dead last at covering the wide receiver. This is a great spot. Give me DJ Moore indoors as well. Now we're going to Minnesota in the fast track. Love this play. DJ Moore over 56.5 receiving yards. On the other side of the ball, I'm taking Sam Darnold over 250.5 passing yards. Now, me and Jay Webb, we both gave this play out on Wednesday night on our live Twitter spaces that we do. Now, we don't talk about our plays before going live. We just find it's organic. And then if we both kind of have the same pick all kind of aligned together, I get a big smile on my face when he starts talking about one that I have the same play on. So we're both on this play. We both like it. Now, I see it's gone up to about 253.5. I would take it anywhere up to about 257.5. Now, over the last 3 games, Sam Darnold has been a monster. He's thrown 9 touchdown passes, and he's averaging 304 yards a game over his last stretch. Now, 3 games ago, he played in Chicago, and he threw for 330 yards. And again, that was outdoors in Chicago. Now we're going indoors. Brock Purdy just scorched them for 325 yards last game. I think Sam Darnold's got a good shot of getting over 250.5 passing yards. Now, whenever they give you, so those are my 2 official plays. No, actually, all 3 of these are official plays. I love this next one as well. However, when you're doing a same game parlay and they give you these boosts and things like that, you usually only need to do 2 of the same game, as long as it's the same sport. So even if it's NBA, here's a free 3-pick same game parlay and you take 2 on one game, as long as 2 are on the same game, they'll allow you to add one more play from a different game. So I was already looking at this to make sure I'm not crazy. FanDuel just did it. I was just able to do this on FanDuel. So those are my two plays from that game. And on the other game, now this is the Atlanta and Las Vegas game. I'm taking Michael Mayer, the backup tight end for the Las Vegas Raiders, over 19 and a half receiving yards. Now this is kind of a sneaky play. He's coming off a career best game where he had 7 catches for 68 yards on 9 targets. Now, I kind of have a theory why. Now, Desmond Ridder is quarterbacking for Vegas. This is their 4th string quarterback. Now, Michael Mayer is only in his 2nd year as the tight end there. Now, when you're practicing and you're on the 2nd and 3rd team, you're practicing with the 2nd and 3rd team, meaning Desmond Ridder has played a lot of practices, a lot of game time with Michael Mayer as his tight end. So he kind of knows what he's doing. So when Mayer went his 7 for 68, a lot of that came from Desmond Ridder. When Desmond Ridder came in the 4th quarter, he was targeting him a ton. Now we only need 19 and a half yards. We need 20 yards out of this guy. I think this is a great spot. I think we're getting Michael Mayer over 19 and a half. And when you pair all 3 of those together, you get about a plus 580. So that's not a bad look. We're coming off a nasty 7-3 day. We got 3 plays going today. You're rocking with me, guys. Let's roll.